I gotta figure out why my Rocket League's hitching around in this lobby, though. I think it's just because we're loading in. There we go. Let's get down to it, baby. I do want to make sure we've got our rosters on the right side of things. As y'all can see, still zeros apiece. I want to make sure our scoreboard's got the right teams on the right side. I do believe we're backwards on our scoreboard. Let's go ahead and switch those around. And that should get us squared away there, chat. First 90 seconds in, neither team has been able to get really much pressure going early on. A little bit extra ball control over for Limbless Lincoteer, but not much. It's Drafto going to take up to the sky here. And still DK keeping the pressure on forward for University of Lincoln. Again, remember, this is best of 3. Game number 1, super important. You don't really have much of like a feeler out game in a best of 3. Drafto up in the sky, over 1. DK tries to drop it down on the target, but can't. JC only has Ruben to beat. But Ruben able to keep the pressure alive. Ruben back on up. Puts that shot on the target. Is easily saved, however. 3 shots thus far for the University of Lincoln. SZESE Esports. They've only got themselves 1. Kind of a lower, offensive affair. Really been more about the defenses. Limiting the opportunities. Hold on, JC. Shot would have been wide regardless. Will be Ruben who picks it up here. Looks to enter back into the offensive sky. Here's Drafto. That's a shot. Oh, but that's going to ring off the post. DK keeps it alive. Now it's Ruben up in the sky looking for an opportunity. We've been seeing so much control the early last, 3.5, or most of this first 3.5 minutes from the side of University of Lincoln. A slight lead in ball control, but when you talk about being able to control the field, they have spent the majority of the time down on this orange half. He sees shot, a register high and wide. It's an opportunity with a ball heading towards the middle of the field, but 2 players too far back. Now it's Ruben trying to make a little bit of space. It's a back pass over to DK. Does have gas in the tank. Is that on target? Oh, it's just off the post. Drafto follow-up shot. Bang! As University of Lincoln strike first. First goal on the board. Might have taken him a little while to find some version of success. But it is a lead nonetheless. Drafto able to rise up, sends that over towards the corner. DK wants to send it forward, but can't. JC picks the pockets. Hold on. Oh, I thought that was going to be a potential look to tie things up. Oh, that's over JC's head as well. This could be DK with wide open field. Skibbity Letjet has just enough to find the save. Ruben, a little too high. That's a swing and a miss. Only 1 goal in game number 1 here. First series of the day. Hold on. Last second heroics. Looked like maybe for a second. Ends up not being the case. There it is. I think the big thing that stands out to me when you look down on that orange side, the lone 2 shots from JC. You're just not going to be able to allot yourself very many opportunities when you're spending most of the time back in your half. I see all 6 players are ready up and ready to get back into this next round. So you know what, chat? I ain't going to hold them back. Let's get ready to do it one mo again. See if the University of Lincoln can pull out the brooms and finish off the sweep, or will we be off to game number 3? One goal separated these two teams in game number 1. Figure for University of Lincoln, because of the amount of pressure and possession they had, they've got to be feeling pretty good heading into game number 2. They don't necessarily need to score early, as long as they can continue playing keep away. DK up in the sky, gets it past JC, but only just. No real pressure, no possession maintained. So now they look for a way out of their defensive half. Drafto, one touch, tries to go with a low 50, can't. DK advances it up the field. And early on, it's been a little different here. We are seeing slight more control. SZESE Esport. But now it's slowly turning back into the hands of Lincoln. Remember, for them, they are still holding that clean sheet over from game number 1. It's been about 6.5 minutes. Our squad in orange has yet to be able to find themselves their first goal. More possession for sure here in game number 2, but their opportunities have still been limited nonetheless. Open opportunity here. Is that just in? Yes, it is. It gets the shooter's roll. SZESE Esports will have that first lead of the series. Plenty of time for the University of Lincoln to recover here. It's going to be an open field. Hold on. DK looks to put it under. The defender just can't quite. Hold on. That's a centering pass. Drafto gets the touch onto it. And just as quick, SZESE Esports might have been able to see themselves take the lead. What, 10, 15 seconds later, University of Lincoln takes the lead. Or not takes the lead, but ties it up. JC looking to go over Drafto here. Isn't going to be able to, however. Here's Drafto, coast to coast with it. JC is going to pick the pockets up off of the backboard. And now looks to flip the field. It's met by DK around the midfield line. Now it's Ruben. That's a shot that would be on target. Defender does bounce it right back up off of the backboard. Follow-up shot saved as well. There's still more pressure here for the University of Lincoln. Looks like our next streamed game didn't realize they were on stream and they've already started, so I'll try and jump in where I can. Or maybe we'll just jump into another game. Something tells me they've already started and they're in game number 1 right now. The looks from the... Ooh, hold on. Opportunity from... Oh, I thought that was going to go in. I thought open net here. JC's shot going to be shut down by Ruben. I thought that original one from Skibbity Lecce. So we give them the lead. 90 seconds left here in game number 2. Well, it's a dangerous pass to the middle of the field. DK, just a little bit of hesitation, however. I think if you move right on that right off the rip, you might be able to win that 50, move right to where we're going. Now y'all are waiting on me. Y'all are the best. True's MVPs. I just saw the green button was live. I was like, not like this. Especially because now it looks like we may even be going into a game number 3. Since we did have a team show up relatively late. Unless University of Lincoln can turn things around in this final minute. I mean, they have had a decent amount of the control. Bang! Drafto had the quick response to the first goal and finds a quick response to the second. They have been controlling both the ball and the field by a slight margin here in game number 2. 53 seconds left to play. Drafto's had 7 of the 10 shots. Oh, and can you find a third? Ooh, nice passing play. Nice ball movement. It takes teamwork to make the dream work. It's DK up to Drafto. Saw JC already high in the sky. Decides to drop it down low. And unless there's a quick response, SZESE Esports. It looks like we could very well have the brooms busted out in our first series of the day. Remember, this will be our only best of 3. Starting in our upper bracket round 2, they do turn into best of 5s. Should be manageable as Ruben scoops it up, as DK already up in the sky as well. Not going to be able to find the touch. And now one more bite at the cherry here. SZESE Esports. JC has to win the 50. Gets kablamoed instead, which means Skibbity Lechty. Only one who can field it back. JC has the ball in the sky. It's over 1. Oh, ball still there. Drafto drops it down. And just like that, University of Lincoln gonna walk away with our first series in a sweep. Let them know that they are good. And let's get down to it, chat. Let me make sure I've got my players on the right side. Nice shot opportunity from Soso, who is on Nottingham. So that means blue is Nottingham, the Nightmares, which does look like I need to switch these things around. We have the University of Northampton and University of Nottingham. Let's get down to it. Our scoreboard now, correct, chat. Again, best of 5 action here at this point. Who's going to be able to find that first tally, though? That's the real question. As Mr. Luna goes coast to coast with it. And watch this thing on back. High in the sky, Ultra. Tries to meet with resistance, can't quite find it. The perfect window slotted as the Nottingham Nightmares. Strike first. See if the Unicorns have themselves a response here soon. Again, now that these are best of 5s as opposed to best of 3s, I mean, game number 1 can be used as more of a feeler game. Don't want to get too crazy with allowing the opposite team to set the pace, however. Unfortunate. Touch comes across here. It ends up going off of Mr. Luna, I do believe, or Soso's, between one of the two. Regardless, though, it does give the Unicorns the response they were looking for. Nice save? No, it's not a save. What happens here? Hold on. Oh, Luna kind of steals that. I don't know why I was thinking Luna saved their own teammate shot. We've seen it happen before, but instead of just stealing the goal, you'll take those. It's 2-1. As the Nottingham Nightmares are putting pressure on here early. They've got 6 shots as opposed to the 1 lone shot from the Unicorns. That'll be a second, but very easily saved. And Chad, I'll probably have to run ads between the games here in these next 2 games just to make sure you don't get them during games. Just do like quick 1-minuters. So it's just the duration of the in-between. Well, y'all would rather get them when I can give them to you versus in the middle of the actual games. You know what I'm saying? Twitch, I can't do nothing about it. Twitch just be hounding them out, you know? Two minutes left, and it's still been a lot of pressure here early on for the Nottingham Nightmares as they continue to retain so much of the possession. They've controlled the field by about 70%. And even with that being the case, ball possession has been darn near 50-50. And we've seen the Unicorns being able to be efficient with their possessions. They've only got 3 shots, 2 of which have been able to find the lace. "90 seconds left here in game number 1. You wonder which of these 2 teams is going to be able to earn the tone setter. And if you're talking about just based off mere pressure and control, I would say Nottingham, but there's a chance. Dartho mode almost finds a way to give the Unicorns their first lead. Instead, they'll have to retreat back to the defensive side. Ultra's going to get bumped off. Now it's Dartho mode. Contested by Mr. Luna. The ball continues advancing forward. Nice job in the corner. That's a beautiful pass. Dartho mode. That shot's going to go high and plenty wide. It is still possession here forward for the Orange squad. Figure you have to be in silver gold territory at this point with less than 30 seconds on the clock. As much pressure as there was early on from the Nottingham Nightmares, the Unicorns seem to have figured it out late. And oh, not like this. You can see Mr. Luna tries to pull off at the last second. Instead, it's off their hood and into their own goal. And as much pressure as the Nottingham Nightmares might have had early on, the Unicorns have themselves a lead. 8 seconds left as Soso tries to up the pace. Can only get one more crack at it. And with that big clear there, that should pretty well seal the deal. Wow. The Unicorns pull it out. The final 20 seconds of play. Sheesh. That's got to be just a little heartbreaking when you think about on the opposite side of the field, because the Nottingham Nightmares did have quite a bit of pressure there early on. However, despite the disparity in the possession and ball control, field domination, only one less shot from the Unicorns at the end of the day, and they were still able to have that one extra goal. So the Unicorns take game number 1. Remember, it is best of 5 here now that we are into that second round in our upper bracket. 1 down, 2 to go. By the way, you say buy Twitch and make it no ads. Honestly, I love me Twitch Prime or Twitch Turbo. With all the watch parties and stuff I do. If I'm gonna be real. You're looking for the Nottingham Nightmares to try and find themselves an early goal, but I think the important thing is to get back into that dominant, controlling fashion that we saw them in early on in game number 1. That's off the backboard. Nobody there to be able to bang it home, however. C-Matt isn't going to be able to field that. Actually, it does allow for Unicorns to flip the field, flips the pressure a little bit. They're the squad with the possession, at least for now. So looks to enter into the orange half, but it is only temporarily. Oh, second bump. Almost acts as a pull shot. Puts that on a target, but does ring off the post. Dartho mode launches one forward, and So finds the save. O'Neal. We're seeing a lot of individual plays from both sides. I want to start seeing these two teams really go for the ball movement, get the passing plays, open things up just a little bit. Because the defenses don't look like they're surrendering. Here's that passing opportunity. Asking you shall receive, I suppose. As O'Neal rises up off of the pass from Dartho mode and sinks that one home. Unicorns have themselves a lead. Now you wonder for the Nottingham Nightmares if they're starting to feel a little bit of that frustration starting to settle in. Remember, they were up for a lot of game number 1. Then you dropped it. Now you're behind here early in game number 2. Tries to pop it up over So. Can't quite, but now it's O'Neal. The goal scorer to give this squad the lead early on isn't going to be able to maintain the possession. Ball possession closer to 50-50 to start off this game. Field control, however, has been in favor of this Unicorn squad once more. This time around, it's the lead for the squad. As we do close in on that midway point here. Ultra looking for a pass to Dartho mode. O'Neal off of the rebound. That will also get shut down by So. Now it's a counterattack opportunity. CN Matt off of the backboard. Or I guess technically the side post, should we call it. As So follows it up. Just like that, we got ourselves a tie ball game. Oh, what? What? Mistake off of the kickoff. What happens here? Oh, Sosa just trying to get into the middle of the field, ends up banging it in their own net. That is unfortunate. The good news is there is 2 minutes and 16 seconds left, so you do have time to make up for the mistake. But after dropping game number 1, giving up goals on silly mistakes like that has to be a little demotivating. Good news is we have not been able to see them extend that lead, at least not yet. Matter of fact, not only have they not been able to extend the lead, the Nottingham Nightmares are able to turn things around and tie things back up. Oh, nice kickoff. O'Neal, can you get there? Tries to slide it under. Can Ultra? Yes, he can. He follows it up and bangs it home. As quick as the Nottingham Nightmares were able to bring things to a draw. Re-extending their lead, putting themselves back out in front, are the Unicorns. Seen both teams be able to use kickoffs to get at least early possession and pressure. That's just a nice shot dropped onto target. CMAT finds a relatively easy save. That shot was almost a banger from distance. One live, passed over to Ultra. Ultra, quick scoop. Can you score? Yes, you can, especially when Datho mode goes Kablamo mode. And takes out Soso, who was the only one in position to try and find a save. And now all of a sudden with the lead out to 2, 76 seconds left on the clock, the Nottingham Nightmares need to up the pace. Final minute left of play, and there is time to score twice if you're Nottingham. Feels like that first one has to be sooner than later. They're going to retreat back to the defensive side, send it over towards the corner. Have an opportunity to flip the field. It's going to be CMAT launching it forward. Everybody's up in the sky. Oh, the big clear. Is that an open net? Not quite. I think if O'Neal would have been able to scoop that up a little bit quicker, could have just simply launched it forward. That might have found the lace. Here it is now. Final 15 seconds. And while the score might show twice the output for the Unicorns, much closer matchup we had here in game number 2. Both ball and field possession sitting right around that 50% mark. Slightly in favor of the Unicorns, which is what helped guide them along to our second win of the day, or of the series. The big thing that really helped them, though, was that 11 shots as opposed to the 4. Or for the Nottingham Nightmares. They've been spending quite a bit of time, whether when they're not pinned in their back, they're shots are moved through. Are subs allowed? That's a good question. I just do believe. Yeah, as I say, I don't think it's in the series. I think it's just like you can have a sub for a certain series, but not in the middle of the series. I do believe are the rules. And rules are indeed rules. Here we go, chat. Game number 3 for the Nottingham Nightmares. And they're trying to figure that out in between. Honestly, I don't have an answer. Say, I just cast here, big dogs. In between games would make sense, though. See, Ducky's thinking that it's going to be the Nottingham Nightmares able to pull off the reverse sweep. Any other believers? It looks like we are going to have a sub out over on that Nottingham Nightmares side. I wonder if the sub is for more of a defensive approach, or just to get a younger player experience. Looks like Zug's going to be coming into play here. Can Zug's turn things around for the Nottingham Nightmares, as they would need 3 straight dubs? Let's get down to it. 5 minutes on the clock. Got zeros on either side of the scoreboard here. Dangerous play, bringing that ball across the middle. Doesn't matter though, it ain't gonna prevent a quick flip of the field. Let's get shut down though. Oh man, if O'Neal was able to find an actual touch there, it allowed for a shot. I don't know if that was an open net, but definitely would have been given a bigger opportunity than the one that we definitely saw. That shot is going to sail high. Suggs now along the sidewall, looking to flip the field, put some pressure down on this offensive half. Nice shot from Zuggs, holds on, rises up, picks the pockets. I was trying to figure out what just popped up on my screen, but realized I forgot to run ads. I'll have to run them in between games, chat. My bad. What do you mean, C? You were the one trying to say I shouldn't run them. Don't you do that to me, Ducky. Ultra going to be taken out. Now it's Zuggs up in this. Oh, no, you're saying Z to the big guns. I see what you're saying. I'm picking up what you're throwing down now. An early goal, of course, just means you got the lead, but there's still 3:25 for an equalizer. Over for the side of the Unicorns. Zuggs definitely feels like brings a little bit different speed, a little bit different dynamic to this roster through the first 2 minutes of play in game number 3. Zuggs takes out one back. Can you get the second touch from Dartho? Yes, he can. Rolling up the sleeves, finds the demo, gets the big pad as well. Convenient timing. Puts Zuggs into the respawn, and then Zuggs not able to get back in time. That's a big old feels bad, bruh. Do approach that midway point here in game number 3, and with that quick response, can't help but wonder what's going through the minds of Nottingham. We've seen them have a couple of looks down here on this side of the field. They've got 4 shots as opposed to the 5 from the Unicorns. But again, slight bit of an advantage both in ball and field control for the Unicorns here as well. Kablamo says Dotho mode. Just the pressure down here for now. Hold on. Oh, Neil. Oh, my. Says, yo, pass it up to me, Ultra. Watch me do this. Bang, it's too easy. Up by 1 with 2 minutes left to play here in game number 3. The Unicorns are looking to advance into that upper bracket quarterfinal. For this team, they are 1 win away from being 2 series away from being qualified in through the upper bracket. Of course, you can't let your foot off the gas just quite yet. The Nottingham Nightmares have been slowly walking this thing down the field so-so. Blammo on to 1, but that will be a big relief valve found with a big clear. Down on the orange half as we do enter into that final minute of play, but it will be sent back down towards the Nottingham Nightmares. Dangerous ball as it wasn't correctly recovered the first time around. They aren't able to keep the possession either. Now it's an attack opportunity. O'Neal up in the sky. Oh my, drops it down, and Dotho mode. Up by 2 goes the Unicorns. And now with that security blanket goal, that could very well be it. "27 seconds left would be quite the turnaround for Nottingham. If they were to force an overtime, feels like the first goal has to be on this trip. Oh, Zuggs can't quite. Keeps the possession. Looking for Mr. Luna. Oh, can't find the touch for the pass. And with 5 seconds left, you figure that's gotta be it. Done and dusted. 3 straight games for the Unicorns. So they're able to complete the sweep. Move on to that upper bracket quarterfinal. Oh, rickety, right? Let's go ahead and get down into it, chat. Off into our next round of upper bracket action is the Ballers versus the Portsmouth Paladins. More best of 5 action. This is our winners bracket quarterfinal. Whoever wins here only has 1 more series to win to secure themselves a spot in the main event, the UoNicorns 2025 spring action. Shots moved here forward early on. Nothing quite yet, though. Let me just make sure I've got players on the right side of the field. Does look like we got everything on the back. Paladins is the throwback. It is indeed, Ducky. But yeah, we got our teams lined up on the right side here. The Ballers still have early on pressure, but nothing too crazy. Quick possession the opposite way on the counter attack, however, from the Portsmouth Paladins. They will be the ones to strike first. Nice job by Max to leave it over one. Haas puts it over that last defender in net. That's how we'll get things started off in our upper bracket quarterfinal. Feels like it should be the semifinal, just simply because there is no final, you know what I mean? Because there's 2 semis that like qualify, but logistics or whatever, you know. It is our first 100 seconds gone by in game number 1, and been relatively balanced. I mean, ball and field control right around 50%. It's been 3 shots from the side of the Ballers, 4 shots the side of the Portsmouth Paladins. Both teams definitely have had cracks at it. Here's Haas. Oh, Bajoli going to be able to rise up and slow that one down. Tuck moves the ball forward. Haas tries to follow things down. A couple of close looks. Close ain't gonna cut it in this business. Nice low 50 here by Jolie. Anticipates the defender going high. Finds the Kamblamo on the one chasing him. His low 50s with Haas. Puts that thing through. And just before we meet that midway point in game number 1, we're all tied up. Has been 4 shots on either side of the field. Slight advantages in both the ball and field control thus far for the Portsmouth Paladins. Will look to be able to maintain their possession here. Test by Haas. Keeps it down on the orange side for now. Max looks for a pass towards the middle of Jolie. Able to read it off the backboard. Now looking to go coast to coast with it. Does have Tuck in the corner, who does stick their hood in there. Is able to disrupt the offense. Haas over 1. Had Max there. Tucks off the rebound. Tries to move forward, but can't quite find it. Max in transition. I don't know if it was looking for Haas or if Haas was just trying to fake the low 50 or like fake the low side on that there. But wasn't close to that ball IMO. Decent set of control. Nice little possession here. Jolie going to be able to rise up, however, and switches the field. Trusky. First shot on the target, easily saved by Tuck, however, as we do get prepared to enter into our final 60 seconds of play. Wait, what trail was that? Was that an own goal pinch? No, it's off Haas, okay. Doesn't make it feel much better if you're the Ballers, but it isn't, at least it's not directly off you. Great job to be able to stick a nose in there. Paladins do have the lead with less than a minute to play. Open net, bang! And just like that, quickly giving themselves a lead, then being able to double it down. That's too easy. 47 seconds is still enough time, but you need to find that first goal here sooner than later. Krasky looking for Lex off the pass. That's a shot. Oh, but Has going to be able to find the save. 22 seconds left. I do know some people like to live off of that 10-second rule. Even that's starting to dwindle away, especially with that save from Max. That second shot rolling off the post, bearing itself into the corner. 7 seconds left. I just don't see it happening. Game number 1 done and dusted as the Portsmouth Paladins going to be able to walk away with a dub. Look decent. They look decent. Shot count, as you can see, 8 as opposed to the 9 from the Ballers. The Ballers just wasn't able to find the lace. If you're the Ballers, though, maybe you can hang your hat on the fact that most of your shots did require saves. Your shooting efficiency looked good. Let's take to the pitch here. Game number 2. And you got some teams that have some RLCS experience. At least a couple of players anyways. Was shown in that first game though. It's more about how the team can be put together. As it was the Portsmouth Paladins who did take game number 1. Of course, it is a best of 5, so now the Ballers will set their eyes on a game number 2. Again, they did outshoot the opposition in that last game. Maybe if they could just start hitting their shots. I don't know how to make that sound so easy, but more in the sense of allowing those law of averages to start playing out, right? Here's Lexa. Ooh, that's going to be just wide. Tuck. Ooh, gets enough of it to prevent that shot coming in from Trasky. There's still pressure that has been forward in this blue half here in this opening minute of play. I mean, almost consistently kept down here, even despite the fact that Portsmouth Paladins technically have a slight advantage in the ball possession. They've just been struggling getting it out of their half. Here's a chance for Tuck to be able to do so. It's a big touch, however. Left off to Jolie, off into Haas's hands around the midfield line. Slowly walking down the field. Tuck? Tuck? We'll have to check in, see what Tuck's got going on. Staring menacingly. We'll allow for the Ballers to get that first goal in game number 2. Plenty of time here, however. 3 minutes, 20 seconds. Tuck seems to be back and moving and grooving as well. Open opportunity. Haas going to be able to report the save. You don't need to sweat when it comes to getting a quick response to that one lone goal. But I don't think you want to allow a quick second. Lexa says, you know what? It doesn't matter what you want. We're trying to go to the rubber match all tied on up. And it's just a quick pressure up in the field, high in the sky. First 2 goals, both to Lexa there. Both in that opening 2 minutes as well. Not quite the halfway point here in game number 2. Has been more field control from the side of the Ballers. They've kept the ball down in that blue half quite a bit. Sitting around 70% field control. And while maybe the ball possession closer to 50-50 when the ball's still down in front of your net, it's more pressure being felt by the Portsmouth Paladins. Opportunity, Haas takes out Lexa. Tuck's going to get returned with a demo as well. Ball's floating down here on this blue side. Could be another dangerous look if the Ballers are able to gather it. You figure one more could very well seal the deal with about 100 seconds left. Especially with at the rate the Paladins offense has been struggling to get down here on the orange half. They've only recorded 3 shots as opposed to the 9 that have been recorded by the Ballers here. Ball heads towards the net. Just isn't going to be able to find it. Had the ball for a moment, but couldn't quite gather the control enough to flip the field, so it is still pressure. Forward onto this Portsmouth Paladins net. They will look to exit past the midfield line, get intercepted though, just outside the box. Jolie, Kablamo, left off. That's going to find its way across the goal line. A third goal, and that could very well, like we mentioned earlier, be the deal sealer. Especially when you got everyone pressed forward. If anyone was there to be able to press up, you had an opportunity. While they are eventually going to be able to find the lace, I think that just goes to more show a little bit of sloppiness. It is starting to come out here in game number 2 for the Portsmouth Paladins. Maybe the Paladins can find something to build upon going into game number 3. They really don't have much to write home about. Still sitting on the lone 3 shots. Outshot by 10 by the Ballers here in game number 2. And despite the ball possession being right around 50%, when you talk about the field control, very firmly over towards the Ballers. Their game plan most definitely seems to be working. So it will be up to the Portsmouth Paladins to try and find an answer here. I mean, you figure 2 players by themselves each, both Lexa and Jolie, both out shooting the entirety of the opposition, has to have them feeling pretty confident moving into game number 3. Because what, that first one was 4-2 in the opposite fashion, obviously. But then turn around in game number 2, after you won game 1, not be able to find a goal while giving up 4. Is most definitely unfortunate. So let's get into game number 3. One of these 2 teams, 1 game away from being 1 game away. And if you do end up getting that series win here, your 1 series win away from securing a spot in the main dance. I feel like if you're the Ballers, it feels like the confidence has to be there after game number 2. Especially because game number 3, despite the fact that you maybe haven't scored, it does feel like you've had more of the control. You've had 2 shots. You spent a good amount of time down here in this blue half. As Max and Haas look to change that. Haas looks over back to Max. A little bit of give and go action, and the Portsmouth Paladins have themselves a lead in game number 3. Open field for Haas. Who was that on the demo? It was Max. Gotta have your head on a swivel. The Kablamo Whammo combo leaves a wide open net. The Portsmouth Paladins seem to have chosen aggression here in game number 3. Are clearing in on that 90-second marker here in game number 3, and it definitely feels like a different Portsmouth Paladins. I would say similar to what we saw in game number 1, but even that seems like a little bit of a stretch. Seems like they've started to figure things out. Of course, as I mentioned it, I believe they call that the good old caster's curse. Things unravel briefly as Trasky going to be able to find a bump. First goal onto the board here for the Ballers in game 3. Hold on, Lexa opens up field. Anybody gonna get there in time? I mean, Haas technically puts it in on his own. Wrong net, however. Feeling the pressure, feeling the panic. Oh, but Tuck with a quick response off of the kickoff. I was grabbing a drink, but watch this up in the sky. Control once over Jolie just by enough. Yeah, assistance from the post if you want to have a little bit of copium, I do suppose. The Portsmouth Paladins back into the lead. See if Trasky can find a quick response. Shuts down by none other than Tuck. Who's now looking to go coast to coast with it. Finds a touch, pass towards the middle. Tuck with another touch to leave a pass off for Max. Max off to Haas. Haas looks to make a play towards the net. Can't quite keep a handle on it. Does definitely feel like the Portsmouth Paladins have the right idea here in game number 3. Just crossed that midway point as well. Oh, Tuck, can you get there? I don't think you can. Can you find the read, though? No, especially now when Trasky is going to be able to find a handle on it. Max picks the pockets. That shot does sail wide. Nice job by Haas. Ooh, being a big nuisance. Finds a touch to the middle as well. Hold on. Tuck to Max. That was a shot. Trasky is going to be able to find the save. Jolie looking to find that ball back towards the midfield line and able to do so, but it's Max who's waiting in the shower, waiting in the shadows. And was keeping the pressure forward, albeit temporarily, as it will be an opportunity down the other way for the Ballers, but that gets shut down as well. You got to give it up to Trasky on this play. Fields the ball at the 50. Only has Haas to beat. And puts it just out of his reach. Minute and 25 seconds left in game number 3. And, oh, would you look at that. Tied up at 3 here as well. Pass towards the middle. Jolie, that save comes across from Tuck, who does have a savior medal. Open field, however, both Max and Haas sitting relatively low on the boost. Final 50 seconds, and it definitely feels like could be silver gold territory. Yeah, you've had a couple of goals, but I feel like the defenses have started slowly making some adjustments. Don't know if we're going to see multiple goals in the final 30. Speaking of final 30, though, we are in that final 30 seconds. Portsmouth Paladins do have the control, do have some possession. However, Lexa going to be able to find a leak out towards the other side. Second touch, puts it up in the air off the back wall. Now here's Tuck. I thought it was going to go underneath to try and scoop it up and keep the possession. Instead, it's off to overtime. We go. Which of these two teams is going to be able to put themselves on to series point? Max going to be able to find a clear for the Portsmouth Paladins. Goes down towards the opposite way. Kablamo takes out Tuck, but that does mean they'll be back on the defensive side. Oh, my poor boy Tuck. Back in off respawn. Kablamoed one more time, almost immediately. That's quite a frustrating play. We've all been there. He's saved by Max to send it back towards the corner. Does have that savior medal here as well. Has pass to the middle. Tuck doesn't have much gas in the tank. Trying to find some way, somehow, to at least send it towards the sidewall. Closing in on an extra 90 seconds of play here in game number 3. Who doesn't love a little bit of extra Rocket League overtime? Haas can't find the bump and Tuck can't find the 50. Double unfortunate for the Portsmouth Paladins. They're still doing all right for now, however. We'll drop down in front of the net, but nobody's going to be there. Can they find a way out of their half, however? No, actually, Lexa wins the 50. Oh, that ball was in a dangerous spot. Jolie sends a pass to the middle. Trasky going to be there. Not going to be able to get onto it. Quick rotation in transition, and Haas off a beautiful pass from Tuck. Not going to lie, if I was Max, I'm probably stealing that. But I'm a bad teammate. What can I say? It's a 2-1 series lead here for the Portsmouth Paladins. Let's do it. Game number 4. See if the Ballers have the ability to send us off to that game number 5. 5 minutes on the clock, zeros on either side of the scoreboard. Let's get down and do what it do. I feel like here, if you're Portsmouth, you realize you're able to get a quick turnaround in game number 3. I don't think you're worried about upping the pace, upping the ante. I think game number 4 is almost where you slow it down. You do that NRG, like park the bus sort of strategy. Flirt with fire, though, on that save. Gotta be honest. If it works, though, I suppose. Can't complain with the results. Portsmouth's had a little bit of the control here early, but nothing too crazy. Granted, we're only a minute gone by in game number 4, but the only 2 shots that we have seen thus far have been from the Ballers. It's a quick transition the other way, though, and the Ballers, I mentioned, they were the only team with shots. That's a bangerang of a shot from one goal line to the other. Now it's going to be up to the Portsmouth Paladins. You want to prevent a game number 5. You've got to find a way to regain this lead. Of course, you do still have plenty of time. It's only 90 seconds expired for now. Couple small mini touches around the midfield line. Nothing really to write home about, however. And here we go. Ball's in front of the net. Tuck finds a way to get back towards the midfield line. Has been more pressure forward for the Ballers. Resky looks to try and follow that thing up. Tries to shadow it behind it, but can't quite. When you talk about the control game, definitely has been more of it over on that Ballers side. But for the Portsmouth Paladins, they only need one goal to tie things up. Max looks for a pass to the middle. Tuck bails out of that. Does realize they're not going to be able to win the foot race to the ball. Hold on. Everyone could have got caught creeping forward. Haas. Can't quite find it. Just high and wide as it rings off the corner post. Haas another opportunity though. And Haas might miss once, but Haas won't miss twice. Drills this thing into the bottom right-hand corner. Jolie's like, there's too many options. Someone help a brother out. We're tied up at 1. Do we go off to see a game number 5? Or can the Portsmouth Paladins lock it down here? I've talked several times before. Hold on, dangerous spot. Ball's still down here. It's up in the sky. Running out of room, running out of boost are the Ballers. Haas leaves it off for Tuck. Tuck with the gather. Can't quite keep the control. Bad on the 50, but it is still the possession for the Portsmouth Paladins. Oh, Alexa! Ew! What a small little touch. Does the most. And Tuck almost does find a way to get up to the sky for that. But can't quite. They just got to simply hold the line for a minute. Game number 5 could very well be on the books. However, if you're the Ballers, I think if you allow one more tie, it could be dangerous. And Haas, bigger, faster, stronger, just built different. Going coast to coast. That little extra oomph on the end of that. Push it past Lexa. .30 seconds left. Dangerous position as this ball goes back towards the front of the Portsmouth Paladins net. Big pinch the other way. Kablamo onto 1. Tuck might have got caught too far forward. Finds enough of a touch though to send it towards the corner. Jolie over the defender. Tuck looks for the clear. Pass to the middle. That shot going to sail wide. It looks like we're off to overtime here in game number 3. Hold on. Unless that's just in. Oh my goodness. Not by the hairs on your chinny chin chin. Lexa almost had a free look at it. Jolie ends up getting one. And Haas out of nowhere finds the save. Haas finds a second one as well. Max finds it over one defender. Can't quite find the clear. Remember, the Portsmouth Paladins, they're already on series point. One shot could send them up into that upper bracket semifinal, where one series is all you need to qualify for the main dance. Looking to control the resources. Pass to the middle. There's Max. Trusky going to be able to find the save. Now it's Haas pushing the issue in the corner. Looking to keep the control back towards the midfield line. Trusky not gets enough of that. We'll be able to get to the big pad, though. Takes out a defender as well, luckily for Tuck. Gets enough of the possession to slow down the approach. Ball's in the sky. Oh, and Max gets enough of it. Oh, Trask, that's on your head, boy. What a pass as well from Lexa. Scoops it up right around the midfield line. Trask's already in the sky. Ugh, what an angle. And we're off to game number 5. I see players already ready to go. Let's go ahead and give them what they want. Right back out to the pitch for game number 5. One of these two teams is 5 minutes away from advancing into that upper bracket semifinal matchup. Who's going to be able to lock in their spot? And who gets sent down to the lower bracket? Lexa almost finds the angle on that one. Imagine. Hold on, ball back towards the middle. Tuck sends it back into the orange half, but it only stays there but for a moment. Here in the opening little bit here, it's all pressure from the side of the Ballers as they look to strike first. Was a quick goal, so it does mean there is plenty of time to respond. You're able to find a goal in one of your first 2 shots in a game number 5. That's definitely got to feel good for the Ballers here. Now might have a little bit of space as well. Instead, however, it's space given over to Haas. Hold on, here's Jolie in the sky. It's off the backboard. Lexa taking out Haas, which means possession is still able to be maintained. A little bit of friendly fire. Pops that ball up into the sky. Now all of a sudden it's possession in the hands of the Portsmouth Paladins. Tuck up in the sky around the midfield line. Loses the handle. Jolie. Can't quite find a way out. Hear the demos in the background. Seems like the Ballers have picked aggression to try and be a little bit of extra disruptive. Hold on, it's an open net. Oh, yes, indeed it is. Tuck went screaming back. Probably got credit for a first initial save. Jolie had the momentum on their side, and now the Ballers are up 2-0. How often do we talk about it, chat? These best of 5s, how important that game number 4 is. We're seeing it here now. Remember, the Paladins were up in this series, looking like they were getting ready for that upper bracket semifinal. And now it is going to be a bit of a climb for the Portsmouth Paladins. Max will be able to score that one. That's at least going to take this lead and cut it in half. Hold on. Winning off the kickoff could give them the control they were looking for. It's a pass to the middle. Haas can't get enough of that, though. You do still have time to cook. It's 2 minutes, 10 seconds. If Lexa can find a way to extend the lead, that would be an even better look. Not going to be able to find so there. Oh, no. Lexa actually sent that back down to the orange side. Trotsky has to rise up. Slows down the initial push. Oh, Max had a banger of a shot. Heck of a save by Trotsky. Now Jolie off of that side wall. Drops a nice shot towards the middle of the, or pass towards the middle of the field, but with the demo, no one quite there to field it. 90 seconds left. Trotsky prevents that clear. It's the control. Is that in? No, but Lexa sure going to make sure that it crosses the goal line by rising up and stuffing it. That could very well be the security blanket that the Ballers needed heading into the final 75 seconds of play. For all the marbles here, chat. Nice bump. Can you end it there? No. You figure if Trotsky would have been able to put that one in, a 3-goal lead heading into the final minute of play might have been unsurmountable. Jolie up in the sky. The assistance from Lexa. Can't quite find the double tap, but it is more time that will continue to dwindle away as it's now 50 seconds to play. That should be a big enough touch to send it back down in the blue half. Haas will field it. Doesn't have much gas in the tank, however. Gets a pinch, but that actually just sends the ball too far forward. Word, Nathan. Give me just a minute after this game to hit the restroom, and then we'll get that semifinal started off. And there it is again, another security blanket goal. No, that one's probably more the nail in the coffin than it is a security blanket. And that's going to be the hat trick as well for Alexa. The Ballers with back-to-back wins in games 4 and 5 to be able to keep their upper bracket run alive. Of course, it is the Bottlers that is sitting, lying in wait for the winners of this series, but the math ain't mathin' to me. I don't think it's going to be the boys in blue. Portsmouth Paladins, they might have been able to keep it close, but it will be the Ballers walking away and continuing into that winners bracket semifinal. One of these teams still has a chance at it, but will have to advance through the lower bracket. Let's get down to it. Best of 5 action. It's going to be early pressure here forward. Okay, let me make sure I've got right rosters just on the right side for you guys. Why are names so different? UoNicorns on Roehampton. So Roehampton is on orange. I gotta switch my sides around. Bang! Just like that, chat. We're ready to go. First 45 seconds into play here, however, it has been a lot of ball possession. A lot of control here for Roehampton Esports. Of course, Roehampton are number 1 seed of the 26 that were in the field going into today. Meanwhile, the ScouseSHooters, the number 4 seed going into today. 2 teams from the UK. As we had mentioned previously, one of these 2 squads is guaranteed a spot in the main event. Both of these 2 teams could very well make their way through, even both of them making it through this week, but only one of them through the upper bracket. It's going to be a race to 3 wins. 100 seconds gone by. Here we go. Give me a second. Sorry about that. Had someone at my door and nobody else was home to be able to get it. Luckily I didn't miss any goals yet. First half gone by, still tied up at zeros. Still has been a lot of control here early by Roehampton. They're stuck back in their defensive half for now. It's Ryzen looking to be able to enter back into the offensive half. Denial sends it back down in the orange side of the field. Neither team truly able to maintain the possession. Nice shot from Denial. Ryzen finds the save. Is open field if you can get there. However, you do get shut down by Stocky, and that is unfortunate. Neoquan does a great job of being able to pressure the issue here. The first touch up doesn't give up on the effort though. Second touch, right up over Stocky. And with 107 seconds left in game number 1, that's our first goal. However, off the kickoff could be possession and a quick change the other way. No, it's actually Neoquan. Flick of the wrist past one. Being able to maintain the possession. Potential shot opportunity from Ryzen. Not going to be able to find its way. Demo, however, leaves this ball in an awkward spot. As we've got 85 seconds left to play. One lone goal from the ScouseSHooters could very well line things up for an overtime here. Ryzen with a nice psycho to send things down the opposite way. Shot was just a tad bit wide, but showing the confidence to make plays like that in a game number 1 and a qualifier match nonetheless. Lets you know that this Roehampton squad feeling good. Arrow looks for a shot. That bounces high. Hayden. He sends it over towards the side. Gives a chance for the ScouseSHooters to find a clear. But it's only about over to the midfield line, and that's it. A double commit could leave a wide open field the opposite way. Neoquan waits for the bump from Arrow, which doesn't find its mark. But even with that, regardless, it's Neoquan who pushes this thing on in across the goal line with the second effort. Roehampton, 2-goal lead with 30 seconds left. Had a lot of pressure early on, and while we have seen the ScouseSHooters slowly scratch and claw their way back as far as spending more time down on that orange half of the field, they've only been able to find one shot as opposed to the 10 from Roehampton. Final couple seconds ring. Clean sheet gonna be kept. And Roehampton gonna be just 2 games away, securing themselves a spot in the main dance. Of course, winning the qualifiers is nice. I'm pretty sure all of our players that are currently out on the field, they'll tell you that it's really about the main event. See that everybody's readied up just about, other than the one sub. The ScouseSHooters They've got to find some way to be able to keep the possession down there on that orange half and be able to start getting threatening looks towards the net. Because I'll tell you what, against this Roehampton squad, one shot ain't gonna cut it. The good news for them, though, is the results of game number 1 no longer matter as we roll those scores back to 0. Well, at least the 1 back to 0. Put 5 minutes back onto the clock. And let's get down to it in game number 2. ScouseSHooters kept back in their defensive side early. See aggression as well as Ryzen opts for that demo. NeoQuan, hold on. Oof, drop that thing right back into the middle of the field, but both players had already over-rotated and weren't quite in a position to be able to make a shot. Nice 50 by NeoQuan, sends it back towards the midfield line. Ryzen's up in the sky. Only has one to beat, past denial. I think that bump gave him just enough to be able to slow things down. Of course, finding the stop is one thing. One thing that we have found that can be a struggle after that, however, is finding the way to set up your offense after the stop. Or not even setting up the offense, just quickly getting out of your backside of the field. As you can see, the ScouseSHooters have been trapped deep in their third for so long, and eventually, well, Ryzen's going to be able to find a way to punch one across the goal line. Might have taken a little bit of time. That first goal will indeed go over to Roehampton. Oh, Ryzen almost did him dirty with the dunk there. Does end up hitting that side post, however. "100 seconds gone by. Arrow trying to go for the pogo play. Okay. We had mentioned the confidence earlier, but to go for a pogo? Ooh, that's off the post. The pogo was a no-go. And all of a sudden, to counterattack the opposite way off the post from Nathan. But denial will not be denied. We're all tied up at 1. Ball possession this game has been right around that 50% mark for the first 2 minutes. But the important thing to talk about has been the field control. So much time spent down on this blue half. However, despite the disparity in the field control, it will be the ScouseSHooters who take the lead here with a little over 2 minutes gone by. Nathan finds a beautiful bump on the horizon. Just leaves a wide open path to the net. We close in on that midway point here. ScouseSHooters, yeah, you got yourself a lead. I was going to say, but how long can you hold it? And it doesn't look like very long. Arrow with the play. Stocky looking for the read, but Arrow gets just enough. Arrow pass, looking for NeoQuan in the middle of the field. Possession down here on this blue side. Remember, Roehampton looking to regain their lead. Now that we're into the second half of the play, they did take game number 1. Another win here puts them on to series point. Open field potentially. No, Nathan's actually going to be there. Sends a shot actually right back towards this Roehampton net. Does get shut down. That one, however, finds its mark. No! Ryzen from left to right. Able to find the save. Now it's 95 seconds left, and we're still all tied up at 2. Aiden's going to get bumped off. Means UoNicorns should be able to field this around the midfield line. Over 1 with the flick of the wrist. It's Arrow rising up to try and get that ball away from Denial, but can't. Right now doing a good job of managing the resources has been Roehampton. It's one thing they've been doing so well to keep the ScouseSHooter squad pushed back, not just in their defensive half, but even as much back in their defensive third. That's a double post, rise in, bang! And with 54 seconds left on the clock, it looks like game number 2 could very well be going to the same squad that won game number 1, unless the ScouseSHooters have anything to say about it. Less than a minute means you have to move with a sense of urgency, but you don't need to press the panic button. I don't know if you want to rely on last-second heroics, though, so I don't know how many more empty trips you can really afford down to this side of the field. Ryzen with a pass up to UoNicorns, and with a second goal like that, that could very well lock away game number 2. And for the ScouseSHooters, they are now in trouble. Especially with another win off of the kickoff. Possession more forward. UoNicorns pops it up in the sky. And unless there's a quick goal on this possession here for the ScouseSHooters, which does not look like is going to happen, and I just don't see this one turning around at this point. Second win in a row for Roehampton. And with that, they move up to series point. Not only series point, but qualification point. Remember, the winner of this series locks themselves in a spot for the main dance here in a couple of weeks. Close series for sure. 9 shots as opposed to the 8. 9 shots technically over for the ScouseSHooters on the losing side. Efficiency truly being the key for our number 1 seed. Ain't nobody trying to wait that full 60 seconds in between our games, though. Let's go ahead and head back out to the pitch for game number 3. The ScouseSHooters' last chance if they want to try to advance into that main event through the upper bracket here in qualifier number 2. Ain't no more time to talk about it. It's time to be about it. Will be pressure off the kickoff here from the ScouseSHooters. Doesn't look like they're going to be able to find any big shot, not at least early. Denial tries to find one there, but it's going to be a counterattack opportunity for Ryzen. Flicked up over Nathan. No, Nathan gets just enough to send it up off the backboard. Pass towards the midfield line. Will end up under the hood of UoNicorns. Rises up. Double tap. Can't try in the triple. Oh, Ryzen, you had so many options. You had to hit the post. That's definitely unfortunate. First minute gone by. Still tied up at 0. Here's Denial up. Rate of this game definitely slowed down a little bit in game number 3. The ScouseSHooters still looking for their first shot. And even for Roehampton, having 3 in the first 90 seconds. A little slow off their normal pace through those first 2 games. I think right now, though, if you're Roehampton, you're just fine with keeping the ScouseSHooters off the scoreboard. You're not worried about running up the score. You're not worried about having a bunch of goals. because it's not like they've had to have a high offensive output to win their games thus far here in the semifinal matchup. It's really been more about what their defense has been able to do. Although, maybe putting it on the defense, not necessarily fair. Their offense has been proving that a good offense is indeed a great defense. They have just simply been able to play keep away. Doing the same thing here this time around as well. 60% ball control. They've been controlling the field by 80%, however. The ScouseSHooters just struggling to get past the midfield line. However, as I say that, Nathan finds the double tap. That ball was about 65, 75, oh, darn near maybe even 85% across the goal line. It was a nice save from NeoQuan. Second save comes across as well. Still allows for this Roehampton squad to have the clean sheet. Now it's a counterattack opportunity as we do enter into our final 2 minutes of play in the game number 3. And now it's the ScouseSHooters looking for a counter look. Theirs does get shut down in the corner, however. Ryzen doesn't have much gas in the tank, but will at least be able to find this ball towards the midfield line. And now it's 2/3 of this game gone by. And it's still a goose egg on either side of your scoreboard. Nathan looking for a potential pinch to the middle to find a pass. Doesn't quite find the touch. Feels like the ScouseSHooters are running out of opportunities. Double demo. Leaves the ball still down here on the ScouseSHooter side. NeoQuan rises up. Looks for a pass that comes across. Had Stocky not gotten a nose on it, that ball would have been in a dangerous position. We do enter into that final minute of play, however. And with the way that this game has gone, could be silver goal territory. One goal might be all it takes. Rising around the midfield line, over one. Nathan, the last one left in the back in the goal, and it's NeoQuan who finds a way to drop it low. I like Ryzen's decision to look for the bump here on the Nathan, and I think actually got just enough on that back side of the bumper to turn the ball around. Gets him out of position where he can't make the save. Now it's 43 seconds left on the clock. The ScouseSHooters need a response. There's denial. Over one. His does have Arrow there, however. Arrow will be able to find the save. Looks to scoop it up off of the backboard. Tries to find a way out of the orange half, but can't. A late goal from Aiden makes things interesting. Watch this thing on back. Nothing too special. Matter of fact, I would say the two defenders bumping into one another prevents that thing from getting saved. Looks like we're going to be off to overtime here in game number 3. Which means for Roehampton, one shot is all it takes. Secure yourself a spot. Hold on, it ain't over yet. NeoQuan, oh! If you had just a few more moments, you needed maybe 2-3 more seconds. It is overtime. The ScouseSHooters would like to extend this series. Although maybe hard to call. Maybe for the ScouseSHooters, they think, you know what, we'll just go off to the lower bracket. I'll shut my mouth, however, is Denial going to be able to drill this one in from distance. And by distance, I mean about the top of the key. That right there, ladies and gentlemen, will indeed extend this series one more game. It's off to game number 4. We talked about the importance of game number 4 earlier. In these best of 5s, Game number 4, oh so important. And look at those shots. So much in favor of Roehampton, despite the fact that they walk away with the L. Let's do it one more time here. Game number 4. Don't think you're really too worried about it if you're Roehampton. Again, that last game still seemed very much in your favor. Ryzen's up in the sky past the arrow, and it doesn't take long. 10 seconds into game number 4 as Roehampton take the lead. Off the kickoff, it's Arrow one more time looking for the control. Has the pinch with Neoquan. Hold on. Watch this thing back. Because we saw it from Neoquan's angle. Wow. With precision and poise, drops on down. Finds a way to punch that one across the net. It's a 2-goal lead. We're not even 20 seconds into game number 4. Yeah, the ScouseSHooters were able to extend into this game. But now they're playing from behind. Looking to potentially add a third. Not yet, anyways. It is still pressure forward nonetheless. Ball's in the middle of the field. Neoquan keeps it up. Arrow. Bang! I don't know. I think they might have taken that series extension personal. We're 43 seconds into game number 4, and it's already 3-0. Let's see what they can do here now. Nice shot from Arrow, and they continue to run it up. It's been every trip for them. They come down here onto this side. Ryzen doesn't necessarily find the bump, but is enough of a distraction off of that back wall. As it's now 4-0. Officially first minute gone by the way. You know, now looking back to that joke of wondering if the ScouseSHooters just wanted to advance and go on to the next series. Definitely doesn't look like it. They've got fight in them. They'll be able to punch one across. They're still down by 3, but with 3:41 left to go, there's ample time to turn things around. I feel like the important thing right now, if you are the ScouseSHooters, is really locking in on the defensive side with your communication. At this point, you can't afford double commits. You need to be efficient with every touch. Because we're seeing so much pressure forward, so few mistakes being made from Roehampton as they now add a 5th goal in the first 2 minutes of play. You might have gotten yourself another game. But this game has turned into a bloodbath. It's 5-1. Right now, you're just not really seeing much possession being maintained by the ScouseSHooters. Despite the fact that they are sitting at around 44% ball possession, it's small possessions, and most part back in their defensive half as well. They're struggling to get the clears. They are really getting challenged right around that midfield line. when it comes to advancing the ball forward. Here's NeoQuan, past one, double tap, dropped down. Niall's there to at least send it over towards the sidewall. Now looking for the clear here is the ScouseSHooters. They're able to get it to the 50-yard line, and that's about it. No, actually, hold on. Shot comes in from Denial. That's going to end towards the net, but doesn't find its mark quite. Final 2 minutes of play, counterattack opportunity. Drop down for NeoQuan, but that's going to be a kablamo from Nathan. Ball not picked up, however. Not quite yet from the ScouseSHooters. They now will look for Nathan and Denial to try and work side by side to advance this ball forward. Instead, it's the pockets getting picked. I thought they were going to have an open chance opportunity. NeoQuan says, you know what? I'll take mines. Thank you very much. I'll take yo cookies. And it's 6-1. Flick of the wrist maybe from NeoQuan. Was looking for the bump, but because of that push forward, not enough time for the defender to rise up. And I hope y'all got your boarding passes. Looks like we're off to Brazil as Roehampton takes a 7-1 lead. "86 seconds. The math just ain't mathing to me, especially with the way that Roehampton has looked oh so dominant here. Not just in this game, but in this series for the most part, if we're being perfectly honest. They've been able to do a great job of keeping the ScouseSHooter squad back in their blue half. Think we might have a Rule 1 engage. No, actually looks like somebody was able to find their way out of it. We don't ask no questions. But this game here has been a perfect example of what Roehampton has been able to do all series long. It's the small things. It's the bumps. It's the demos. It's rising up around the midfield line with that little extra effort on the defense, making it so the ScouseSHooters have to earn every single meter down the pitch. And with 15 seconds left, final victory lap out here on the pitch for our Roehampton Esports squad, our #1 seed going into qualifier #2. And here in our upper bracket semifinals, they will lock in their ticket to the main event. Who they're going to be squaring off against. The winner of this game will square off against the ScouseSHooters for our final qualification spot of the day. Looks like we've got everyone ready to rock and roll, ready to go. Best of 5 action here in our lower bracket. Let's get down and do what it do. Looking to see which of these two teams can really assert themselves. I feel like we saw UoNicorns earlier. We do know that they have the ability to really be able to seize the control of the field. At least it looked like they were able to in that first matchup we saw. We have not seen the ELTEAM at all. The ELTEAM actually a 12th seed, technically upsetting Portsmouth Paladins earlier on to be able to get here. However, it will be the UoNicorns who strike first. Only takes them about 30 seconds. Move towards the net. Whoa, Neil. Whee! Able to find the save. That looks scary for just a moment. I feel like this game #1 could be very crucial in this series, simply because I feel like the UoNicorns should feel comfortable in this game. However, RCN going to be able to find a very quick response to that early goal for the UoNicorns. We are all tied up at 1. Sound finds a kablamo. Means O'Neal needs to find a way to at least take a little bit of time. Make sure that push coming in does not happen too fast from the L team. Now it's Dotho mode, looking for a pass to the middle of the field to Ultra. Not quite going to be able to find its mark. We are 90 seconds gone by here in game number 1. Feels pretty back and forth, at least early on. 3 shots for the side of the Unicorns, 2 for the L team. They get 3 after that one there. Could be some open field here for Ultra. Looks for the double touch. Can't cut that thing over enough. A slight lead in the ball possession category for the Unicorns, but it's been the field control has really allowed for the L team to stay in it. They've been keeping this blue squad back on this side quite a bit. We are officially halfway through game number 1 here. Tied up at 1s as well. Remember, for these teams here, winner still advances, has 1 more series, trying to lock in one of the last 2 qualifying spots for the day. As it is going to be a wide open field, big old net, small little ball. All you got to do is simply watch that thing cross the goal line. And the Unicorns up 2-1. But just because you lose this series and you're out, just like our other series in the day, and those teams who did unfortunately fall a little short, as we see Ultra bang another one across the goal line, adding to the lead for the Unicorns. They're now up by 2. But for the team that drops here, you do know that you got close this time around. And we do still have 2 more qualifiers, 1 next weekend and thereafter. But right now, it seems like the top has been absolutely popped off of the defense, as that is now 3 straight goals, 3 unanswered. And while there is still 2 minutes left and you do have time to turn it around, the L team is going to have to do it quickly. They want a shot. Figure with 100 seconds left, I think at this point, if you are the L team, as much as you're not like giving up on the chance of a comeback here, I think you have to put your eye on the prize, realize that it's going to be tough to come back. However, Dotho mode will extend the lead for the Unicorns. But what I was going to say is most important here for the L team, you got to find some way to rein in the control. Essentially reset the scoreboard back to 0 for this final minute and 29 seconds and just simply dominate this last 89. And at least you could say that you've got some momentum heading into this next series. However, the Unicorns do not seem to be letting up. Matter of fact, with 84 seconds left to go here in game number 1, chat, you might want to make sure that your bags are packed and you've got your boarding pass. I know it might technically still be winter. We could very well be off to warmer lands. Still got to be in the back of the minds here. Dotho mode rises up, was looking for it. Not quite going to be able to connect. Sound with a shot the other way, and just when we were talking about Brazil, Sound says, how about not? Let me add a second one onto our tally onto this side, and this Could very well be the start of it. We were talking about it, about for the L team. You probably know you aren't coming back here in game number 1, but now that you've been able to add another tally onto your score, maybe for this last 60 seconds, you can come out here and really grab the bull by the horns, so to speak. Take control of the reins and have something to build upon going into game number 2. I think the one thing that is very noteworthy is, despite the fact that the Unicorns are up 6-2, most of the field pressure has been in favor of ELTEAM. I think part of that is because we've just seen very efficient strikes from the Unicorns. Sound will be able to find another, and that does mean in the final minute of play here, allowing 0 goals, scoring 2. Yeah, you're still going to take the L in game number 1, but we've talked about it several times over the course of the first 2 opens. I keep calling them opens, the 2 qualifiers over here. Sometimes in these best of 5s, game number 1, it ain't necessarily about how you start. It is how you finish. 11 shots for the side of the Unicorns, as opposed to the 7 shots for the ELTEAM. The Unicorns did turn things around just a little bit there towards the end as far as the shot department. But it is a best of 5, so the ELTEAM not necessarily panicked about dropping game number 1, but will most definitely shift their focus to game number 2. It feels like that first 60 to 90 seconds has to be dominant in a similar sort of fashion, the way that we saw them do in the final 60 seconds of game number 1. Let's go ahead and get to it. Game number 2. The good news for ELTEAM is the Unicorns will start at 0. The fact that they won by 3 in game number 1 does not matter. However, if you allow a very quick goal on this first possession, like that one right there, that does allow for the Unicorns to put themselves right on back into the driver's seat. As the University of Northampton, hoping to try and make light work of their lower bracket round 5 opponents. A win here would indeed put them on to series points, and they'd get 3 chances at it. Sound off the sidewall. There's open space. Ultra there to be able to find the save. I am, Nathan. I am indeed. On this side of the bracket, we're just going to stick on this lane here. So the winner of this versus ScouseSHooters. I actually just realized I didn't mark that. I'll mark that now on the start screen. A little bit of a back and forth, a tug of war around this midfield line. Neither team truly able to seize the control. It's about 100 seconds gone by in game number 2. And it is still just the one lone goal. Of course, ask and you shall receive, I do suppose, as Datho mode. Off of a pass from Ultra. Going to be able to add a second. Ultra looks for the carry from one side to the other. Would have had that if it weren't for RCN. ELTEAM are from Hungary. They are Hungarian. And the Unicorns are from Roehampton, so UK. First half gone by here in game number 2, and it's still a 2-goal lead for the Unicorns. They've looked pretty solid here in this game. Remember, despite the fact that ELTEAM had a decent amount of possession in the last game, it was still a great job to be able to take a lead onto the scoreboard. Similar thing could be said through the first 3 minutes here. Is O'Neal going to be able to find the save? Oh, is that ball just in? Sound's going to be able to find the save. But both the ball and the field control right around that 50% marker. Ultra was trying to go for a quick scoop under. Here's Sound up in the sky. Only has O'Neal to beat. And bang, there it is. It's 100 seconds left in game number 2. And we got ourselves a 1-goal game. Control off the kickoff. Yes, big 51. Jeez! 2 unanswered, just like that. We got ourselves a ball game, ladies and gentlemen. It's the control off of the kickoff, the pre-jump. To be able to drop that thing on in. So you're saying there's a chance. Very important game here in this series for ELTEAM. After dropping game number 1, they fought their way back in. Ultra goes for the double tap, can't find it. It's O'Neal now. Looks for a bite of the cherry, can't find that one. Dotho mode. Tries to send it to the corner. Center things up for a teammate, but Ultra already committed back to the defensive rotation. Popped up in the sky, Dotho mode. Tries to send that one on target, but it's RCN. It's going to be able to find the save. Now tries to scoop this thing up, flip the field with it, past one. Dotho mode, able to chase it down though. Picks the pocket. O'Neal. Oh no. Oof. Could have been a dangerous ball. It is 40 seconds left, still tied up at 2 in game 2. This could be where a difference of an inch or two, one play, one mistake, could be the difference between a sweep and a 5-game banger. Unfortunate 50 from Sound just clears right on over. Puts Zekiki, I believe is the name of that, into an awkward spot. And it's now 25 seconds away from the Unicorns being on series point. Over 1 is O'Neal. Kablamo says Sound. Ultra gets enough of it though. And that will be the security blanket that the Unicorns needed. 16 seconds, it is still doable for the LT, but you got to find something off the kickoff here. Oh, hold on, they've got the control. It ends up under the hood of Dotho mode though. Which does mean once these last couple of seconds expire, that will be back-to-back game for the Unicorns. The Unicorns take game number 2. Looking pretty solid. Ultra having 8 shots on their own, as opposed to the 7 by ELTEAM as a whole. Tells a little bit of the tail of the tape. Of course, only 3 other shots put on between O'Neal and Dotho mode. So a little bit closer in the shot counter than you would expect after that first statistic there. For the Unicorns, they're 1 game away from moving into that lower bracket quarterfinal. It would be that qualifier match, where they do have the ScouseSHooters lying in wait. O'Neal's been looking pretty good. I do have to agree with that, Dotho. Aren't you playing? Let's go ahead and get down to it. Game number 3. Unicorns. Been able to strike first, strike often. In those first 2 games, looking to start things off in a similar sort of fashion here. It's the control forward Ultra with the pass. One more touch off the passport, leaves it for O'Neal. And the Unicorns strike first. They only need 24 seconds to put themselves in the driver's seat. You can't ask for much more. Now a second opportunity, floating in front of the net. O'Neal almost finds a way to follow it up there. Dotho mode, picks the pockets. Be left off for O'Neal, scoops it up, takes to the sky. Keeps the possession forward. No gas in the tank though, so we'll have to hand it on off, rotate on out. But then O'Neal rotates all the way back and finds a save. Shot forward, save from O'Neal. And that's back-to-back saves for O'Neal. Let's add a third. It's 1 minute and 7 seconds into game number 2. O'Neal's already got themselves a savior medal. Looking for a way out of their half here for now are the Unicorns. Ultra pass at the Dotho mode. Can you get the touch? No, not the case. Sound going to be able to find the clear. But it's O'Neal already there on the sidewall. It's more pressure forward for the Unicorns. Ultra keeping it alive. O'Neal, one more touch. Dotho mode more sitting back as that third back, wanting to make sure nothing comes easy for the ELTEAM. And for good reason. They've got themselves the lead. They could just simply play keep away if they wanted to. I doubt that's in the cards, but you get what I'm saying. O'Neal pushing forward. This is the big pad, limiting the resources here. We've been seeing the Unicorns doing a great job of that against the ELTEAM. That's a demo. Oh, shot goes high. Ultra shot just a little wide as well. Sound tries to take the low 50. Can't quite find it out. Sound with another opportunity. Dotho mode gets a touch. Ultra gonna be able to send that back towards the midfield line. It was looking dangerous, at least for a moment. The defense has appeared to stabilize here for the Unicorns. We do get ready to enter into that 2-minute marker. Dotho mode finds the shot. Ultra off of the post as well. Is that net regulation size or what? The amount of shots off of the woodwork here have been kind of insane. And what a pinch to be able to tie things up for the ELTEAM. What up, Timar? What is up, my guy? "60 seconds left in game number 3. ELTEAM has to be feeling the pressure, realizing that it's now or never when it comes to their run here in qualifier number 2. RCN looks to fire a shot on target. O'Neal's going to be there to send it towards the corner. Fake from Dotho Mode. Oh, that's an open field going the other way. Dotho Mode, I think, was looking for the bump. Couldn't find it. RCN with a huge touch. Allows for the field to be reset. Now it's O'Neal up in the sky. RCN rises up. Get dunked on, big boy. O'Neal just built different. And the Unicorns take the lead with 65 seconds left to play. You find yourself that security blanket goal like they have multiple times. It's O'Neal. Tries to low 50 it. Can't. Dotho Mode. That's going to be off the post. Sound looks to feel it. Only has Ultra to beat. Ultra's turned around. Awkward position to be in. That shot's going to go high. Dotho Mode rises up to be able to stuff it with the 50. That's going to be another big touch from O'Neal. That sends it down into that orange side of the territory. It's 50. Big 51. Okay, hold on. Dotho? Dotho? That's it. That's probably the nail in the coffin. I mean, I know some people like to live by the 10-second rule. You figure you're down by 22 seconds left. I mean, it is doable. Possible, sure. Probable, well, I just don't see it. And the kickoff, though, maybe you can make some magic happen. Nobody chasing this thing down. Hold on. So you're saying there's a chance. It doesn't necessarily need to be clean. It just needs to be efficient. 1 goal ball game with 15 seconds left to go. Win the kickoff here as well. Ultra's got a whole gas tank to work with. Tries to send it towards the midfield line. O'Neal's there as well. Launches that forward. That's off the backboard. Ultra's shot is soft. Dotho Mode keeps it forward. And now you got to go coast to coast with it. Doesn't look like it's going to happen. And the Unicorns able to bust out the brooms in order to secure themselves a spot in that final lower bracket qualifier game. One more qualifying spot on the line. We've got the ScouseSHooters. We've got the Unicorns. Look at that. I even got them on the right side of the scoreboard, chat. Let's get down to it. One of these teams will be able to secure a spot in the main event. The other one will have to run it back one more week. By the way, if you guys have been enjoying the vibes over here, would appreciate if you guys hit that follow button. Also, going to be putting over the VODs as well as highlights from both the first and second qualifiers that have been over on my channel. They should be up over on the YouTube here within the next probably like 4 or 5 days. First 45 seconds here in game number 1. I would anticipate this first game to be a little bit more of that feel-out sort of style. I don't think either of these teams wants to give away too much. I think both teams also understand the importance of this game number 1 when it comes to taking the control, being able to seize even the slightest bit of momentum. Only one shot recorded in the opening minute and 15 seconds. That was by O'Neal. Struggling to get out of their half here is the ScouseSHooters. We had seen them have this issue in that upper bracket game, but at that point in time, they were playing against the top team in open number 2, qualifier number 2. I gotta stop calling it an open, chat. I am so used to RLCS. That's my bad. Has been a lot of field control here early for the Unicorns. However, a quick counter tap from Nathan. Oh, and it left it on the goal line. Denial tried to follow it up, but couldn't. Is still control. Stocky looking for denial. That shot cut just a little too far wide. Nathan there to try and follow it up. Ball would bounce down right in front of the goal had that not been sent forward by Ultra. Now all of a sudden the story's starting to turn a little bit. This last minute or so, it's been the ScouseSHooters who've been able to absolutely open up shop and set up camp down here on this blue half. Past one. Here's denial, leaves it in front of the net. O'Neal, that's a touch that's awkward. Ultra, able to get just enough to send it over towards the corner. Here in another 5 seconds. That will be the first 3 minutes done and dusted here in game number 1. And we've only got 6 shots, 4 of which have been for the Unicorns, leaving a mere 2 over for the side of the ScouseSHooters. Can't really say that either team has dominant control when it comes to the ball possession and field control. Hold on, Ultra. Hey, there it is. On a mission in transition. Ultra picks the pocket. O'Neal finds the pass right back to Ultra. It's like clockwork. Unicorns take the lead with 95 seconds left to play. Again, remember this is a best of 5. Yeah, but I would have whiffed that though if you were diving me up. That's the difference. Looking for a chance here are the ScouseSHooters. They had the ball, but nothing really scary towards the middle of the field. Hold on. Able to get that 51. Dance the ball a little bit further forward. You do have 60 seconds. You don't necessarily need a panic. But you do got to space this field back up, and you got to find a way to get the ball moving. It just feels like they're relying too much on individual plays. O'Neal, shot coming across. Nathan going to be able to find the save. Now it's Nathan as well, able to exit the defensive half of the field. Ball's looking forward for a shot. Angled cut, but it hits the post. That one's got to hurt. Still got 30 seconds as you look to make something happen. Nathan, bang, just like that. With 24 seconds left to go in game number 1, we're all tied up. Honestly, gotta tip your hat to O'Neal. Almost found the control on that car to be able to find the save. Would have been a heck of a highlight if he did. Does that send us to overtime? Or is there still one more in their final 12 seconds? It's off the backboard. Ultra tries to keep it down here on this orange half. The ScouseSHooters have other things in mind, however. Ball's up, down it goes, and it's off to overtime. One shot is all it takes to put that first dub onto the board here in our lower bracket qualifying match. Pass over in Ultra. Oh, if you could have found just a little more oomph on it. It could have very well been the game winner. There's still pressure forward. O'Neal sends it off the corner. Ultra can't quite get there in time. There's still pressure forward. Double commit. Can you capitalize? Ball's popped up. Ultra's there. One touch. It will be Stocky with the save. Now trying to turn defense into offense, but it is O'Neal. Sticks a nose in there. Picks the pocket. Again, the ScouseSHooters stuck in their back half. Ultra gets a double demo, so they should be able to find the control here. I feel like you could have taken a little bit more time. Understand the concern, though, with the sound of another player's boost right in your ear. O'Neal into the 50. Wasn't going anywhere with it, though. Allows for Stocky to get the possession, getting bumped the entirety of the way up the field. Denial. Tries to leave it off for Nathan. Can't. We're 90 seconds into overtime here. Denial looking over for Stocky, who's in the middle of the field. Great read by O'Neal. Ultra with a touch off the top of their car. Oh, that's going to be wide by just a little bit. Rings off the post. Hold on here, though. Ultra finds a demo. Does have to worry about the smoke screen. Couldn't quite figure out where that ball was, but it is still possession forward. Here for now. Dotho mode. For the low 50, couldn't find it. Stocky getting a lot out of a little. Doesn't have much gas in the tank, but at least keeps the ball away from their net. Fake puts Daniel up in the sky. This time around, it's Stocky with a save. I said to Daniel earlier. Denial. Moving this ball up the field at least allows for a reset here. From the ScouseSHooters. They've now got the possession in the blue half. Stocky fires this one on target. O'Neal's able to find the save. Hold on. Ball's in a dangerous spot. There will be O'Neal, who will be able to send it towards the corner. First one to it. Everybody all gathered up together. Dotho mode. No boost in the tank. Second touch up. We'll leave it off for O'Neal. Can't quite get it past Nathan, however. I like that small little pass. Acts a back pass. Now it's a centering ball towards the middle. It's get a little too far away from the hood, which does mean that Unicorns will be able to seize the possession. They haven't really been able to do much down here on this orange side. I mean, they get the ball down here, but they haven't been able to not even set up passing plays, not able to keep the control on the dribble. It's been rough out here. And Denial rising on up. Watch this thing back. Off of the pass. Reads where O'Neal is. And absolutely dunks on him. Game number 1 going to go in favor of the ScouseSHooters. Unicorns might have looked good at first. 9 shots as opposed to the 8. Kind of crazy to think that we didn't get double-digit shots on either side of the field. SZESE is, well, we had what? A little over 3 minutes of overtime? 1 game down. ScouseSHooters took that one. Let's go ahead and get back to it. See if the Unicorns can bounce back in game number 2. I would say you'd like an early goal, but we saw that didn't necessarily result in the dub for the Unicorns in game number 1. So I don't know how much that would really be as far as building confidence to score early. Would be nice for sure. Ultra could have some field here. Didn't quite get the pitch they were looking for. Puts that ball in the middle. If that game number 1 was any sort of inclination of what sort of qualifying matchup we could be in for here, this could very well go and see all 5 games. Give me 5 overtimes at this rate. Oh, who got that save? Wait, why did Rocket League not give that save to anyone? That ball was like halfway across the line. Hello? Off of the post. Seems like the ScouseSHooters just are ringing shots off the woodwork all day, hasn't it? Meanwhile, the Unicorns flip the field. They will take the lead again. Remember, they were the first ones to score in game 1. Now it's about not relinquishing this lead. I've seen at times where this Unicorn squad is able to get the control. Dotho with a heck of a touch. Picks up the big pad. Rises on up and says, thank you. Slots it between 2 defenders. It is a 2-0 lead, making a third. Yes, indeed. Dotho finds a third here. That's going to be a hat trick. Just 100 seconds. The game number 2. Definitely got to be feeling good about the start. We talk about it all the time. Quick starts just means there is more time to respond. At this rate, they are going to need 3. Going to be able to find the first there. Shot, though. It's a wide open shot. Wide open net from Stocky. What happens on the defense here? Oh, O'Neal thinks he's got time for the big pad. See, now that looked like Ducky right there. Am I right, T-Bert? 2:45 left to go. It's still a 2-goal lead for the Unicorns. Bumped off for 1. Hayton, though, get bumped off that ball as well. It's a wide open shot that gets clanked. It finds the post. That's one you're definitely going to want back. Good news is you got the lead for now. Are you even really able to stand with your leg at the moment? Oh. Got him. 2 minutes left here in game number 2, and the Unicorns have most definitely gotten the response they were looking for, but can you hold it? There is still ample time. Turn things around, but you feel like you need the first one soon. Double kablamo. Still able to find the clear. Denial. Sends it towards the net, but Ultra's already up in the sky. Dothomo takes out 1. They definitely seem to be upping the speed just a little bit. Trying to play a little more aggressive. However, could that be in their disadvantage? Only time will tell. 75-second. Here's Nathan. Left it off for Stocky. Nice shot, but Dothomo finds the read and finds the save. Now looks to go the opposite way with it. Able to find the bump on a Nate and was looking for the back pass. A little bit of miscommunication. Double tap here from O'Neal. Sends it back up to the skies. Stocky tries to cut it but can't. Denial launches a shot and Ultra finds themselves a save. Save your medal to boot. Open field here as Ultra tries to flip the pitch. Can't quite gather the control. The shot counter close. You can say the goal counter was close, at least before that. But once you get to 3, it feels like at that point, that's when you say the game starts opening up just a little bit. I know, I can hear my boy Llama somewhere. 10-second rule, actually. You are going to get that 10-second rule, though. It does mean you have to find this first one soon. Denial puts it on the hood. Over 1, over 2. Stocky shot gets shut down by Ultra. Follow up by Nate and gets stuffed as well. In game number 2, the bounce back from the Unicorns. As we go off to the rubber match. All tied up at 1. One of these 2 teams here in this following game going to put themselves on a series point. And that one was close. Tail of the tape shows that it was the same amount of shots on either side. It was just a story of efficiency as far as for the Unicorns. Ball possession, field control, about 55%, one either way. But still close to 50. So, I mean, let you know that it is neck and neck for now. And if it is neck and neck, that does mean you gotta favor the Unicorns. They have that little extra length on the edge of their nose. You know what I'm saying? Or on the edge of their head, I guess. Wherever the horn sits. You know what I'm talking about. First shot comes across from Denial. Dotho mode finds the save. Open field the other way. No. Will be Denial. Finding the save as well. It's going to be a shot. O'Neal finds the save, however. Back and forth, the give and the go. Denial was looking more for a ball towards the middle. Here's Dotho mode. One touch, two. Ooh. The poise, the control. Call Dotho butter because he's on a roll. What a shot, what a play. 45 seconds gone by in game number 3, and it's going to be the Unicorns with the lead. Hold on, though. Nathan off the kickoff. Has some space. Denial off the rebound. That sails wide, but it's the rebound for Stocky. All 3 players get involved. Ultra was almost there. It was close. But close ain't gonna cut it in this racket. Hold on, Dotho mode. God, can't get to that. O'Neal tries to win the beat with Stocky, but can't. Back touch from Ultra. Not gonna be able to gather it, though. Here's Ultra taking off to the sky. Can't position for a second touch to send a centering pass to the middle. Oh, no. That's wide open field. And we all know the physics when it comes to Rocket League. Big old net, small little ball. All you gotta do is simply tap it in. The ScouseSHooters have the lead with 80 seconds gone by. And off the kickoff as well, that's back-to-back goals here for the ScouseSHooters. And all of a sudden, a game that was tied up is a 2-goal ball game. Good news is for the Unicorns, there is still a little over 3:30 left. Ultra was trying to find one to take away on that tally there. O'Neal. You wonder, though, is it going to be a quick turnaround? Over for the side of the Unicorns. We have seen them on stream earlier today and be able to pop off with back-to-back goals in a fashion similar to the ones that they just surrendered. Are they able to do so when it matters most here in your lower bracket qualifying game? Ultra finds a touch, leaves it up in the sky, but nobody forward quick enough or high enough to be able to dunk that one home. Faking from O'Neal. Ultra off of the back wall. Now let's send a counterattack opportunity. Stocky with a 50 under 1. Couldn't quite keep the control. And all sorts of demos ringing out on the field. And it's been a lot of, I mean, just good quick visits for the ScouseSHooters, similar to what we're seeing on this replay. Because they're not necessarily like dominating either ball control or field control. It's right around 50-50. But when they get their opportunities, they most definitely been hitting. 3 minutes left. You do still have time to turn things around here if you are the Unicorns. But it feels like at this rate, you cannot afford very many empty trips. Ultra fires a shot on target, rings off the post. Dotho mode. Gonna be able to follow it up off the rebound. A 3-goal lead gets cut down to 2. And with 1:39 left to play, there is most definitely still a chance. Unicorns slowly taking more possession. They're going to need more than possession in this final 90 seconds. They're going to need efficient trips down into this orange half. Can't be giving these big old long touches back over to the ScouseSHooters and just simply wasting time away. Nathan in the open field, stopped by O'Neal. Here's Ultra. Shut down by Denial, and with that big clear, we should be back down to close to a minute left to play. Before we see the Unicorns get the possession back, and even still it is only just for a moment. They retreat back to the defensive side. And now you've got to start moving with a sense of urgency if you're the Unicorns. Underneath one, there's the Ultra. Falls in a dangerous spot. Can't quite get it there, however. It's an open net the opposite way. And if it wasn't over before, that one there should pretty well seal the deal. And in another 39 seconds, it's going to be the ScouseSHooters who will put themselves on the series point. Nathan, shot forward. That's going to be a hat trick here as well. Now you got to worry is the wheels starting to fall off just a little bit here. Double commit. And look, you can say that that goal doesn't matter. And I get it, right? Already down by 3. Really a cosmetic goal at the end of the day. But you can't go into game number 4, excuse me, having those simple double commits, because now you are going to be in a position, if you are the Unicorns, where you're going to have to pretty well play a darn near perfect brand of Rocket League. And you're going to need more than 5 minutes of it. You're going to have to do it twice. Get yourself at least one. But just as much as that 6th goal was a cosmetic goal, this is just more of a feel good goal. A lot of offense here in game number 3. But once it's all said and done, it will be the ScouseSHooters put themselves on to series point. They're going to get 2 chances at it. 12 shots as opposed to the 10 over on the other side of the field. It does look like they want to take a little bit of time here. Understandably so. There's not much time left to make adjustments. If you're the Unicorns, well, any last adjustments that need to be made in order to guarantee yourself a dub have to be made here. Does not look like our other lower bracket game is finished just quite yet. That's between Ballers and Nottingham Nightmares. Again, keep in mind in the upper half, our upper bracket, our 2 advancers from today, Roehampton Esports and UoB Bottlers. Who are going to be our final 2 teams to secure themselves a spot into the main event. Let's go ahead and get down to it. Reset the clock. Zeros on either side of the scoreboard. And the Unicorns don't need but 2 seconds to add a tally on their side. Well, they got themselves an early lead. You have noticed earlier today and even in this series that doesn't necessarily mean anything. Can they maintain the lead? They've got a lot of time to do so. Oh, would be dropping on the target. Double commit. Could be dangerous. Oh, but you can't make them pay. O'Neal finds the save. Now it's going to be Ultra. Up in the sky. Looks for the gather. Can't quite get past Rotting Apple. Rotting Apple. Going to be able to find a goal. Is that a sub? Or am I just not noticed the name of the third player this whole time? I'm going to be kind of embarrassed if that's the case. Just a change of team, just a change of name? I don't know. It is Nathan. Okay. Name change for the buff, huh? Is that what we're looking for? I can get with it. There's going to be Stocky. Pass to the middle. Denial's there. And the ScouseSHooters will take the lead. Nice job by Stocky to be able to get the control in. What a dime. Now it's going to be the ScouseSHooters in the lead. Only 90 seconds gone by, though, so we could still potentially see a lead change or two. Just got to keep taking it one possession at a time if you're the Unicorns. But you do have to realize you got to start moving with a sense of urgency. Every possession matters. Ultra is going to be able to find a way to tie things up this time around. It's a shot from right inside that midfield line. Six shots here early from the ScouseSHooters as opposed to the 4 from the Unicorns. Nice 50 by Ultra. Keeps it alive temporarily. Still doesn't prevent the flip of the field, however. But it's a short-lived drip down into that blue half. So now is Nathan. Tries to get past 2, but it is O'Neal who sends it towards the corner. Angle almost there, but just not quite enough. And we're all tied up as we meet the midway point here in game number 4. That's a dangerous ball back towards the middle of the field. That was just a floater. Not quite right in front of the basket. The kablamo ammo combo, however, from the Unicorns is going to give them the lead with 2:11 left. Dotho mode goes on to kablamo mode. Kablooey mode goes on boy sit down mode. You do, of course, still have to hold the line. Nice bump onto Dotho. And just as much as Dotho creates the space with a demo, while they might not have left in a puff of smoke, just enough of a bump. And we're all tied up at 3. 2:03 left to go. O'Neal drops that one on target. Stocky finds the save, and Ultra tries to keep it alive. Rough 50, though. We are getting ready to enter in to our final 100 seconds of play in game number 4. Could very well be our final 100 seconds of play of this lower bracket. at least as long as the ScouseSHooters are able to retain this lead. Still have a little bit more time to do so. Been able to keep this Unicorn squad pinned back, but now all of a sudden it's a counterattack opportunity. Stocky finds a huge save. However, it does end up under the hood of Ultra, who tries to keep the possession past Adatho. And the Unicorns take the lead just before we enter into our final minute of play into game number 4. Don't have to press the panic button. A minute is plenty of time in Rocket League. Denial. It's going to be off the backboard. Is anyone there to resist? No, actually, it's Denial. Finds the pass. Finds the kablooey. And then it's Stocky, who just simply has to tap it in. As quick as we see the lead gained, as quick as we see the lead disappear. Tied up at 4s in game 4. Couldn't ask for much more. Unintended bar, by the way. Okay, hold on. Datho mode. Past 1. Can he be able to keep the control? No. Denial sends it towards the corner. Rotting Apple sends it to the sidewall, but Datho mode's there. Pops it up. It's in the sky. O'Neal's already there. Is that dropped on target? No, that's just going to be a little bit wide. Plus, Rotting Apple sends it a little bit further into the sidewall. Unable to find the relief valve. No clear as of yet. O'Neal in the sky. You're absolutely filthy. I'm going to need you to do me a favor and take a shower once you're done with that one. Sheesh. That's nasty. Could that send us off to game number 5? Hold on. Rotting Apple. Oh, Denial can't get enough of it. One more chance. Stocky. Pass to the middle of the field. Denial. Not enough control. Down we go. One more game. Can't ask for much more than that. It is indeed a close series. I mean, for a qualifier game and qualifier number 2, it only feels right, don't it, chat? And you can only imagine with this series going into game number 5, that Ballers versus Nottingham Nightmares series, which started about 4 minutes before us, has to be getting close to completion as well. I would imagine we'll know the 3rd qualifier before this match gets done. But who knows? What we do know, however, is the results from games 1, 2, 3, and 4. Well, they no longer matter. This best of 5, which is our qualifier here in the lower bracket between the ScouseSHooters and the Unicorns, has now become a best of 1. Who can play the best 5 minutes of Rocket League? Chat, let's get down and do what it do. Niall doesn't have much gas in the tank. Looks to try and make something happen out of it. Can't quite find their mark. Ultra with the 50 will be able to allow for the Unicorn to have a little bit of pressure forward. Swing and a miss from O'Neal is going to put Datho mode in a scary position. However, with that touch, does allow for the rest of the defensive rotations to come across. Ball goes towards the middle of the field. There's a little bit of open field if O'Neal could have gotten to that and completely gotten a clean touch. Will still be possession, even if it is temporary, here for the Unicorns. I guess Nathan decided to change that name back for game number 5. Pass to Denial, and what a read from Ultra. However, Nobody has enough gas in the tank after that. I mean, Dartho mode might, but can't rise up in time. O'Neal can't get there either. It will be the ScouseSHooters who strike first. Here's Dartho mode, looking for a potential quick response. Will lose the control. O'Neal was looking for a demo in that back line. Does mean they'll be extended a little far forward. Still able to get back in time before the rest of the squad from the ScouseSHooters. Moves their way down the field. Popped up here for Ultra. Left off for O'Neal. That ball's going to sail just a tad bit wide off of that opportunity. Haven't had too many looks. Can you maybe line one up here? Doesn't look like that's going to be the case. Now it's Denial. Trying to chase this one down. Can't quite there, but it's going to be stocky past the middle. Nathan's there. That shot going to be just a tad bit high. Slight control of ball possession as well as field domination for the Unicorns, despite the fact that they're down 0-1. They do only have one lone shot, however, as we do cross that midway point here in Game 5. Dangerous spots. O'Neal finds just enough. It's still pressure forward, though. Nathan, double touch. No, O'Neal's going to be able to shut that down. Just doesn't feel like either team here as of lately has really been able to set up an offense. Opportunity here, though. Dartho mode. Wasn't able to field it off of that waterfall down. Hayden was looking for a pass. Can't. Hold on. Is Denial too far forward? Yes, indeed. That's on your head, boy. O'Neal goes coast to coast with it. The Unicorns tie things up. Entering into that final 100 seconds of play. Every possession matters. Right now for the Unicorns. You're able to put yourself back into it. You found a way past those two defenders. You had some field. O'Neal with Dartho mode, both working together. Either one going to be able to keep the handle here, however. Matter of fact, neither team has truly been able to get control of the possession the last 30 seconds or so. Kablamo says Dartho mode. O'Neal under one, only has Nathan to beat. Can't quite get there. Oh, it drops down in a dangerous spot. What? How did... That's got to be unfortunate. I'm sure the ScouseSHooters thought that they just had one in the bag. Instead, it pops away. Denial launches a shot forward. Can't get caught with your hands in the cookie jar. Oh, Denial launches a shot. O'Neal's going to be there. 15 seconds left. We could very well be off to overtime here in game number 5. Here's Nathan in the corner. Has Ultra to beat on the side while Ultra picks the pockets. Oh, it's a pass to the middle. Who's there? Stocky, can you get it to Denial? No, you can't. Not before it drops down to the ground. And we're off to overtime in game number 5. One goal is all it takes to send one of these two teams into the main event for the UoNicorns Spring 2025. Here's Nathan up in the sky, finds the bump. Denial. Does require a save. If that third had been just a little bit further forward, that could have very well been the ball game. Denial wins the 50. Overtime here has seemingly been a little bit more advantageous for the ScouseSHooters. They've been able to keep this blue squad with their backs up against the wall. Granted, they have been able to hold the line, but less resources with Dotho taking the big pad, but that won't prevent the clear. O'Neal couldn't quite find possession. Down in the orange half we go. It's starting to look a little bit more like a tennis match. Just back and forth, back and forth. Neither team truly setting up any sort of offense here. Dotho mode to try and find it there with the angle, but can't. Gets denied. Been holding on to that one for a minute. Dotho mode looks for a pass towards the middle. Nobody's there, however. Nice win on that 50 by Ultra. However, might have just caught O'Neal creeping too far forward. Rises up enough to be able to send it towards the corner. Dotho mode looks for the control. Under one. However, will end up onto the hood of Stocky, who now looks for that counterattack. O'Neal with the control off of the bump. Be able to find enough of a touch. 2 minutes into game number 5's overtime. You were wondering who was going to be able to pull it off. Nathan, big play. You win the 50, touch over one. And it's Stocky who just simply has to tap it in. When the biscuit's in front of the baskets, it's going to be good eats. And the ScouseSHooters will be your squad to take that last qualifying spot. Well, maybe second to last qualifying spot, because it doesn't look like the Ballers versus Nottingham Nightmares game has been reported. Actually, yeah, it has. Just finishes coming across. So the Ballers advance in the other lower bracket. So that means our 4 advancing schools today from qualifier number 2, Roehampton Esports, University of Birmingham Butlers, I believe that's their A team if I'm not mistaken, Arcadia University, the Ballers, and the ScouseSHooters. So what? 3 UK teams. UK on top, I guess. Chat, if you guys enjoyed the vibes, one, we're going to be back with more qualifiers in the coming weeks. So make sure you hit that follow button down the bottom right-hand corner. Also, I'm going to be uploading the VODs up over onto my YouTube, as well as we're going to be putting highlights over there. We have a little bit more highlights left to edit for number 1. But that's the one that we were using during the breaks. So that will be going up over there, as well as all the games that I casted from number 1. And then we'll do the same here as far as this qualifier here. We also do some other esports content. Going to be getting back into the swing of things. I've been slacking the last couple of weeks, not going to lie. Honestly, during collegiate and scholastic esports, your boy gets pretty busy. But I do appreciate everyone coming through and hanging out, man. That was a really fun day. Let's run it back next Thursday. We've got 8 teams in so far. 8 teams more to qualify through the last 2 days. 1 is going to be next Thursday. And then we have 1 more the following Thursday after that as well, all right? I really appreciate everyone coming through and kicking it with your boy. It was a heck of a lot of fun. I'm out of here, chat. Again, make sure y'all are hitting that follow button if we can catch y'all back for the following weeks. We appreciate you until we catch y'all back for the next one, man. Don't forget, everything crazy going on in the world today. Be true, be you, be sincere. Game hard and love hard, all right, y'all? It's your boy Q, signing out.